All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Totally Worth It podcast. My name is Kendall.
And I'm Haley.
And we are your hosts. You hear that? Fading out in the background? That's our new music. We got some new music, some new jams. Yeah. Because Haley said our old one for the last 26 episodes was lame and it was getting on her nerves.
I didn't say it was lame. I just said it was kind of aggy.
Yeah, but that's the same thing as lame.
No, aggravating and lame is two different things.
Are they, though?
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure that they are.
Okay, whatever.
I liked it, though.
I liked it for like the first two episodes, and then now it just like makes me cringe. I think it's because it like is so precise, and yeah. I don't know.
So now we got some new music, and we're going to go with it for a while and see how long it takes for this song to get on our nerves. Yeah, the earphone mix is so loud in my ears, and it's really throwing me off. Would you mind reaching over and turning my headphones down just a tad? It's the second one, I think. This one? Maybe. Yeah. Just a hair. That's good. So yeah, guys, we're back. This is episode number 27 of the Totally Worth It podcast, and we are here. We've made it.
Yep.
It is a Monday, so we're still sticking to our new
Tuesday
schedule. If you're new here, we are a family and we are busy. So we try to record when we can, and in order to counteract that, we have one episode on Monday. The next week, the episode's on Tuesday. The next week, back to Monday. Next week, back to Tuesday. Pretty self-explanatory. We call it the Monday-Tuesday method. You know?
Sure.
I just named it that just now.
I was about to say you've never said that before.
Yes, so it's been a busy week. And why was it a busy week, dear? You want to tell everybody about it?
First off, we had Vacation Bible School.
Bible School.
So that takes up from like 4:30.
Hold on, everyone.
Sorry.
She's yawning.
From like 4:30 in the evening to like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Every night, Monday through Friday.
It was crazy.
It was.
I have never in my life.
It was fun, though.
It was so much fun. I've never in my life been to a church. Well, first off, I know that there's a lot of people who they like go to other churches' Bible schools just because it's fun, and like they have them on different weeks and stuff. So it's like also kind of a way for the parents to like get a couple of evenings to themselves. And I think that is totally awesome. But growing up, I did not do that. We only went to our own Vacation Bible School.
Really?
Yeah, we did not.
I went
go
to
other
mine,
people's.
and then like maybe one or two like close friends at their churches. But I mean, for the most part, it was just ours.
Yeah, we did not do that. But it's all good. But I haven't, like I said, I have never been to a Vacation Bible School that was that lit.
It was.
And with that many people.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing I've ever.
There was so many people there. It was unbelievable.
I think he said that just like volunteers, like people to make it work, there was like 126 people.
Like it was crazy. Like Haley said that she signed, we were at church probably 6 weeks ago, and she was like, "Oh, I signed us up for, to help Vacation Bible School." I was like, "Okay, cool." But when you get there, hey, 600 cars in line, to drop kids off, and I'm like,
"You're a little dramatic."
Not too far off. It was crazy at the amount of kids.
Yeah.
I mean, it was awesome. Like that felt like the church, like they prepared so well for it, and there was just.
I think each year they get better and better because each year gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah, which is wild. I mean, it just absolutely wild.
It was so fun, though.
I mean, every class was like
every classroom is decorated. Every hallway, where
the
you
stage
eat is decorated.
The stage was like a tropical waterfall, and it was just like it was nuts. Mm-hmm. So we stayed that Sunday to help set up for it, and then it started obviously last Monday, and you went every night, right? Mm-hmm. So tell us about your first night experience.
Oh, gosh.
Because it's funny.
So the first night, I don't. The first night for me wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Kind of. The first night for Joe was, I feel like, traumatic.
Yeah.
She was not having it. She was not having any of her teachers
Any part of it.
or any of her friends.
I was at work, by the way.
And as soon as that music started playing, she was like, absolutely not. She came running out of that sanctuary because I worked registration up front at least 3 times. I mean, just screaming and crying at the top of her lungs. Like, I had to take her into the bathroom and like wipe her down with a wet paper towel and get her to like take deep breaths and calm down.
Breathe.
First night was bad.
Yeah.
But every night after that got a little bit better. But she was like, separation anxiety, and it was just, there were so many kids and it was so loud.
Yeah.
I could see how some kids would be like, I don't know.
Did it remind you of when you used to go to Vacation Bible School when you were a kid?
No, I never did that.
Never did. No, I'm not saying what Joe did. I'm just saying, did being at Vacation Bible School and helping with it remind you of like how much fun maybe you had at VBS?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like there's a certain magic to it where it's almost like I
remember
a week away at camp or something.
I remember there being I feel like it was yellow and like a wooden, not a cross thing, but almost like a scale, and there would be like a red bucket for girls and a blue bucket for boys, and we would dump our change in it every night, and it would like teeter back and forth, and that's how you knew like who was winning, like the money for whatever. Yeah. And then obviously whoever loses would get like a pie in the face or something. But I vividly remember that.
Yeah.
But VBS was always so much fun growing up.
Yeah, I had a blast at ours every year. But there is nothing to compare to what we did last week.
Oh, that was just like a whole nother level.
It's unreal at the preparation.
I don't know what day was the most kids, but I know like one of them, like I just heard like walking by or passing by that there was like 364. Oh my god, that's a lot of kids.
Crazy, dude.
And that's from
insane
ages 2 to 17.
That's insane.
That's a lot of kids.
Yeah, and then every night after you did registration and stuff, you went and helped in the youth, right?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was fun. It's teenagers are just something else. This generation kind of scares me, I ain't gonna lie. Oh. But, you know, they just want attention. They don't get it at home. So.
Yeah. Or school sometimes.
Yeah.
But the youth, boy, that was a time.
It was. It was fun though.
So I worked Monday and Tuesday, and then I went to VBS Wednesday and Thursday, and then I had to go back to work Friday. So I was only able to be there for 2 days. But I got to go Wednesday, and it was super fun. Like I had such a good time. And, you know, just seeing, shout out to Vince, by the way, for being Jungle Jim and doing his thing. I mean, the kids absolutely loved it. They went wild for him. In character and all, like he did. He really killed it. And I know that those people like Caleb and Vince and Marley and all and Becca and all the people, all of them, Amber and Trey, all of them. Like I know they were just exhausted after this week. And but anyway, I went Wednesday and Thursday, and it was such a great time. But being in the youth, like with the youth, was super fun. Because it gave me a little bit of a glimpse. Because I guess every generation of youth is different, but they're also the same in some ways. Yeah. Like you can see the high school drama. Like you can see the cliques. You can see the groups. You can see the athletes.
It just looks a little bit different.
You can see the bullies. Like, yeah, the clothes are different. They got phones and stuff now. But... It's pretty much the same. It's just a different vibe.
Yeah.
And it was fun to watch that and like be a part of it and like, help even throughout the 2 nights that I was able to be there, just to be able to talk to some of them and get to know some kids who like don't even go to the church. 'Cause you can tell like some of them like really want to be acknowledged.
They want somebody to care.
Yeah, to care. Yeah. And so, and I think Caleb and Justin and all of them and Sarah and like just everybody and Becca and everybody that was there, they do a really great job of that. And Cody and Michaela, like they all do a great job of that. But it was just fun to be able to, I guess, in a way, to just be able to have the opportunity to be that for them in the moment. It's just cool. It's very gratifying.
Yeah.
Because I know how confused I was at that age.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still confused. Don't get me wrong. But I know how confused I was at that age. And just
it's just like hormones.
Yeah,
and,
everything. It's everything bottled up into one.
Like I would not want to have to go back and be a teenager right now. Like, I'm glad I got to be a teen when I was a teen.
I'd love to go back and be a teenager right now. I would
kill
it, dude. I'd kill it. I'd kill it so hard.
You say that, but...
I'd kill it. It'd be beyond kilt.
Okay.
Hashtag. That's my new. Beyond kilt.
No.
But it was so much fun hanging out with them, playing that we play. Except for the first night I went, I was in plain clothes, didn't have to work or anything. But the first night we did like the game portion where we went outside, like everybody played the games they want to play. So I started talking junk to some of these boys that were playing basketball, and I got in on the game with them. And I'm not gonna lie, I did all right. Okay. I ain't gonna lie, I did all right. But I love to talk junk when it comes to sports stuff. I just love it. I love it. I love talking junk more than I actually love playing the sport.
That's even worse.
I know. And those people are so obnoxious, and I'm one of them, and I can't help it. But I had so much fun just talking junk to these kids and playing with them.
Because they thrive on it.
Oh, they love it. They love it. And I love it. And it was just so much fun. But like 30 seconds in, I had a neck cramp. And my body was like, no,
You're
no.
32 almost.
No. Not 17 anymore. Not 16. And then halfway through, I went up for a rebound, and I came back down, and my glasses didn't. They stayed up there in the air and fell on the ground, and that scared the life out of me. And then I knew in that moment, like, I need to calm down. And then I walked off.
I'm getting a little wild.
And then I walked off because I was out of breath, and they kept playing and stuff. But when I walked off, I like went over there towards the fence and like grabbed the fence, like just, I can breathe. But it was wild.
Out of shape.
Yeah, facts. I don't know if it's definitely out of shape.
Yeah.
But I think also I'm just getting older, and my body was like, we do not need to do that very often.
I could tell the next day that my shoulder was sore.
Oh man, the next day I was hurting.
Yeah.
Luckily, I had to work during the day, so I ended up having to wear my work clothes. So I didn't participate in the game on Thursday.
Yeah.
But I just kind of stood around.
Yeah. Here we go again.
Sorry, you got me yawning. I'm sorry. But it was super fun, and I enjoyed it so much. And let me tell you about this youth group that at our church. Let me tell you how psychopathic, how lunatics. I mean, just absolute off the wall, off the rocker lunatics. They are. So, including the youth pastor, Caleb. He's a lunatic too, because they did VBS Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Hey, guess what they did Friday night? They had a lock-in. And let me tell you,
I didn't make it.
I had to work Friday night. So they're there all day Friday for the the regular VBS stuff. And they have a lock-in. And traditionally, what I think of as a lock-in is a bunch of the youth get to the church, you know, in the gym or wherever it is, you know. And yes, they stay up late, play games, you know, like it's just a fun time.
Yeah.
These fools, I pulled up in my work car because I was in the area, and these fools are out in the field, 2 a.m., playing Red Rover in a big crowd. Caleb and them sitting on the golf cart, kind of triangulated around the big group, watching them. And I walk up. I said, "What are y'all doing?" And all these kids look like they just got there. They didn't look
tired,
fatigued at all. And he was like, "This is how we do lock-ins, bro. Ain't nobody sleeping in here tonight." I said, "Boy, what? You better be glad I ain't here. I'd be curled up in a corner somewhere." But they are crazy. They did that thing.
I mean, you can't sleep because you have to literally, they're like toddlers.
I know.
You have to watch them 24/7.
And then before I left, I didn't tell you about this. I guess they had hid these like neon flags all over the church campus. My blood pressure went from here to
What do you?
the ozone.
But why?
layer.
What? I mean, what's the deal?
Because he said, "All right, guys, we're going to play capture the flag." Guess where all the youth went? In every direction.
Yeah.
Just running full speed in every direction. The whole church campus. I said, "It's 3 a.m. There's no lights out there. Somebody's going to die. This is terrible. It's a terrible idea. Terrible idea."
The dad and you coming out.
Yeah, the dad and me was just like roaring. And all these kids are just running in every direction, full speed, looking through the dark woods at night.
How many were there? Like how many?
Oh, it had to have at least been no less than, it had to have been 40.
Oh, wow.
It had to. There's no way it was less than 40. I could be wrong. Caleb, correct me if I'm wrong. But these kids were crazy. And they were just like running around everywhere trying to find these flags. And I said, I can't do this. I'm leaving. But I had to go back to work. But it was wild. Just seeing the dedication that these people have to these youth is unreal. It's unbelievable. Like the fact that on a real note, the fact that they are willing to work all week long and do all of this stuff for these youth, and then
stay up
24 hours just so that these youth have an amazing time is unreal. It's beyond me. I'm thankful that those people are in our life, and I love those people, and I'm enjoying every week or every chance I get to be there to get to know them more and try and soak up a little bit of what they got going on.
Yeah.
I love it. And then freaking Caleb, he drove to West Virginia the next day to preach at a church. I said, "Hey, guy, what's your secret?" Because there's no way. There's no way. But anyway, they're great.
He's also like 10 years younger than you.
Yeah, that's true.
Or
that's true.
Maybe not 10.
Probably not. I'm not that old.
He's probably 8 years younger than you.
Well,
he's younger than me.
A lot can happen in 8 years. I'll tell you that.
He's younger than me.
I'll tell you that much. Is he really?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But no, they had it going on. They had a great time, and it was just cool to be a part of it.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
It was a long week, everybody kept saying and always said like VBS week is the most tiring week of the whole entire year, and
Buddy,
I would agree.
They were
because
right.
like I had VBS every evening, but also like my mom was sick all week, so I worked like every single day
the whole week.
And then it was our 2-year anniversary at work, and then I was planning an event Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And everything that could possibly go wrong for that went wrong.
Yeah. So it was
everything was delayed. Nothing came on time. Friday night, instead of going to the lock-in, I stayed at work until midnight.
Yeah.
Because my shipments didn't come till like 5 o'clock in the evening. And it just took me all night.
And you were literally working like every day, and then in the evening on some days, and then doing BBS every night. And it's just Like,
I was so
it's exhausting.
tired. I'm still recovering, clearly. Sorry. I have not recovered. I don't know that I ever will.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, it's quite traumatic.
And then having a 3-year-old on top of all that.
You know they do it right when VBS week is traumatic. You know.
No, but one thing that made me that just made my heart swell about VBS is and I feel like we did not have this when I was growing up, but we have at church called a special friends class.
Yeah.
And it's for like special needs kids so they can actually have and participate in VBS.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And one of the little boys, like the first day, would not even walk into the sanctuary because I mean it's a lot.
Yeah, it is
going on. It's loud,
sensory wise, and everything.
Yeah, like overstimulated.
Yeah,
like wouldn't have anything to do with it. Wouldn't walk through the tent, nothing. And then by Friday night, he stayed up on stage the whole time.
Really?
That Caleb was up there and Vince was up there talking. He was just walking around doing his thing. It just like made my heart so happy.
I bet so. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of kids, let's talk about ours.
Oh man.
So we've been, we've been, however you want to put it, going through.
She been putting me through the ringer.
A time. What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
The 3-year-old range.
Yeah. Whoever said that, oh, you just got to get through the 2s and it's so much better, you lied.
Terrible twos.
Like, we had some meltdowns at 2, but
yeah. Well,
we're just now in, I mean, we're not, it's been like 2 months of 3s, and I feel like it's been 6 years.
Yeah, not like just 3-year-old meltdowns. These things are serious.
Boy, tonight it was whose will is stronger.
Yeah, it is. Why don't you explain what happened tonight?
Oh gosh. Okay, so tonight I fixed dinner. Mm-hmm. And
which was absolutely amazing, by the way.
Thank you. Anyways, so
my favorite.
I fixed Joe a plate, and all I told her, and I knew she would eat at least part of it, but all I told her was that you have to take one bite of the meat.
Yeah. Why don't you tell them what you cooked?
I cooked meatloaf and mashed potatoes, homemade mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Which I knew she would eat the potatoes, but meatloaf, she's kind of weird with ground meat in general. Yeah. But I was like, she's never had it like this, so you have to at least try it. Yeah. If you try it, you don't like it,
that's fine.
I will fix you something else. I'm not going to let you starve. But if you refuse to try it, we're going to sit here until you try it. Or you just go to bed starving.
I think I kind of got us into that part.
Yeah. And boy, she was not.
So I told her, I said, look, she's got like a little table and chairs in the living room, and she sits at her little table and eats sometimes. And she was sitting at her little table, and I said, Joanna, you're going to sit at that table, and you're not going to get up until you try that meatloaf. Also, side note, we need to come up with a new name for meatloaf, because the word meatloaf.
We called it steak though.
It doesn't sound.
Because normally,
good.
If it's meat, she thinks it's steak.
I just meant in general, like for regular people.
Oh, yeah,
it's not a very appetizing word.
No,
but it's so good, and it's one of my favorites. And I think you make a great one.
Okay, thank you.
Anyway, but I told her you're not getting up until you taste that, and she just really wanted to push it. And she
was like scooting to the very edge of the chair, like leaning off of it.
Yeah, and I jerked her up in that chair one time, and I think it kind of scared her. Yeah. And I told her that she was not to get up out of that chair or she was getting spanking.
And then all she wanted to do was cry.
Oh my gosh, it was not
all she wanted was me.
It was weeping.
Yeah.
I mean, weeping.
Snot bubbles.
Just, it was awful. And
it went on for probably an hour.
Yeah.
It was every bit of an hour.
And we sat there because we had some stuff kind of planned that we were going to do. Like we were going to finish eating, and then we were going to like go outside, do something, and then maybe watch a movie or something. But she just would not. And I mean, I just couldn't explain. We sat there beside her and explained it. Like, look, this little.
It's one bite.
This tiny little piece. Like, I just want you to taste it. And she's just like,
I can't.
I can't. I'm going to die.
Like, I mean, just ridiculous. I'm like, but you can.
But you can. And she's like, but I don't like that. And
I'm like, you don't know because you haven't tried it.
You've never tried it.
Like, if you try it and do not like it, we'll revisit it in a year or so.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm not going to force you.
Yeah.
But you're going to try it.
I very much contemplated just like putting it in her mouth.
I know. And I was like, we're not doing that because I don't want her to have a bad
terrified.
relationship with food.
Yeah. I got you. I wouldn't want her to be traumatized by meatloaf either.
But
it's so good.
I mean, we went at it for.
It was nuts.
It was ridiculous.
And you're sitting over there on the couch taking videos of it.
Yeah, I was like, somebody's gonna witness this with me because I didn't do anything to her.
What an absolute time!
And then finally, after like an hour and a half, I was like, all right, well, I'm going to get your pajamas. You can just go to bed. Yeah. You just, if you're not going to try it, you'll go to bed hungry.
And then I was like whispering to her. I was like, baby, come on. She's serious. She's going to bring your pajamas in here and go to bed. I don't want you to go to bed. I want you to stay up and watch movies. Please, hurry. You're my best friend. I want you to eat this. And she finally tasted just a little teeny piece.
And I mean, she literally was like gagging.
Oh my gosh.
It was so dramatic. Just like spit in. Like,
you would have thought like if someone made you eat poop.
I mean,
it would be your reaction.
It was so bad. I mean, she was just like,
and then she like took a napkin and was like wiping the inside of her mouth.
No, she took a piece of toilet paper, and so then it was sticking to her tongue. It was so dramatic. I was like, "Get over here!" And then she was like, I don't want to go to bed." I was like, "You don't have to go to bed, but you're gonna put your pajamas on." She's like, "But please don't let me go to bed."
Yeah.
She was like, "I did try it." I'm just like.
So then,
Kendall's right idea.
So we took Joe today, and we had her piggy bank or whatever, the money from it, and cashed it at the little coin machine at the bank. And she had $45 worth of coins. So we took her to Big Lots because we wasn't going to Walmart because your boy don't want to go in Walmart. Too many people.
We let her pick out some stuff.
Yeah, we let her pick out some stuff. So she picked out some stuff, and then I seen this rack on the way out that had the little poppets things. You know, like you throw down on the
it's
concrete.
Called a firecracker.
No, they're called poppets, babe.
It's a firecracker.
A firecracker is a little red stick that you light.
No.
Yes. But anyway, I bought a box of those because she's never done anything with fireworks before. I bought a box of those and a box of sparklers,
which I hate.
Like little sparklers. They're not big.
I don't care,
like
big or small.
Sparklers.
I hate them all.
So I told her, I said, after you get done eating, me and you can take the sparklers and we'll go sit on the front steps outside and light the sparklers.
Yep.
And she was really excited, so we did. And after she finally tasted her food and got over her meltdown,
and let me just throw it in there, I said from the jump, bad idea. 3-year-olds and fireworks are just not. I don't care what kind it is. I don't care if it's a sparkler. Sparklers are the worst.
It really was not her fault. It was my fault.
It doesn't matter.
It wasn't the sparkler's fault.
I know, but it's a firework in general.
I know, but she needs to enjoy things like that.
Oh, she's not anymore.
In a safer way.
No. How much safer can it get?
Well, I had my head turned lighting another one when she was holding that one. So anyway, we are out there. We do the sparkler thing, and
y'all got all the way to the last one.
Yeah, we were like on the last box, and I'm sitting there lighting. I'm lighting them, handing it to her. Then I'm lighting another one while hers is burning out. That way she doesn't have to wait, and she can just kind of like keep holding.
And then she just throws them on the ground.
Yeah, just throws them on the ground when they burn out, and I hand her the new one, like a good father should. And so anyway, I'm lighting like one of the last few, and all of a sudden she just like breaks out blood curdling scream.
Because
I thought she got bit by something or like stung by something.
No,
or there was like a spider on her or something.
I knew immediately what happened.
But what she did was the glowing red part, after it had burned out, she, I guess, thought it looked pretty and wanted to wrap her hand around it.
Yep.
And
burnt her thumb and her pointer finger.
She sizzled her fingers pretty good. And
She's got blisters.
Went absolute nuts. And I
like
felt
any
bad for her
3-year-old
because, I mean, I would, because it would hurt.
Yeah.
So anyway, we dealt with that, and that one's on me.
And then I was like, point proven. We're done.
No,
Inside.
we're gonna double it up next year.
No, yeah. She was like, I'm not touching that.
I bet she's
said, me too, Joe.
I bet she's not. We are gonna shoot some fireworks. Maybe New Year's.
Yeah, y'all can shoot them in the front yard, and me and Joe will sit on the porch.
That'll be fun. But anyway, that was her first experience with fireworks. Burnt her hand to a crisp.
And it sucks because she loves watching fireworks, but like she's never gonna wanna hold them, which I don't either because I've been burned and I hate it.
Yeah,
like sparklers are just they piss me off. I don't want anything to do with them.
So yeah, she sizzled her hand off, Then we came in. We watched Willy Wonka.
I rubbed some
aloe on it and settled down, and she was knocked out about 20 minutes later.
You know how exhausted she's got to be. I mean, she cried for like an hour and a half over her food.
Just straight
And then
crying.
she cried for another 45 minutes after she burned her fingers. I was like, this girl needs to go to bed.
Her crying it took you like, what, all of 3 seconds to put her down?
Yeah.
You didn't even have to get into bed with her, did you?
No, and she looked up and was like, will you lay with me? I said, yeah. And then I pulled the cover up and she was already asleep.
Yeah.
So I just walked out.
That's awesome. So speaking of fireworks and red, white, and blue, lastly on the list today, let's have a chat about the Olympics. We talked about them last week.
Yeah.
About your obsession with Simone Biles and gymnastics.
She is knocking it out of the park.
Yeah. So tell us about what has occurred since then with her, because I know you know it all, and I don't really know anything. I mean,
she took another gold for vault, I think. Yeah. And then she just took, I guess it was today. She took silver for the floor. And Rebecca Andrade. I don't know how to say it. Like, but she's from Brazil, and she took gold, and it was like the moment she's worked her whole entire life for.
Yeah.
And
that must suck to be in the same like age class as Simone Biles.
Yeah. But I mean, even Simone and what's her name? Jordan Childs, they both were like on their knees, like fanning her, like she's the queen.
Like, this is your moment, kind of thing.
And I mean, could you imagine thinking like, I outbeat Simone Biles? I mean, granted, it was like barely, but still, you know.
Yeah.
And Simone, and I love that Simone was just as happy for her.
Yeah. So. There's a lot going on in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Let's talk for a second about this boxing stuff that has taken place. So for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, there has been in female boxing, there was a female boxer. I'm going to be really generic about it because I really don't know a lot about it. I'm not speaking from a place of knowledge or authority on it. But women's boxing in the Olympics. These two women went to go box, and
within the first
the first punch or something like that, the one lady was like, I can't, like, this is not, something's not right, and so she quit.
And I could not imagine you have trained your whole entire life.
Yeah.
And this is your moment.
Yeah.
And just like, I guess in my head, when I like read that and found that out, I was like, do you know how bad that it must have actually been?
Yeah.
To get hit like that, and to know, like, if I keep going, I'm probably not going to walk out of here.
Yeah. And so,
It's crazy.
and we haven't even hit that part yet. So there was a lot of news articles and stuff. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know these people.
We didn't watch it.
Yeah, I don't know these people, and I don't live in their countries.
We don't even know their names.
Yeah, I don't even know their names. But allegedly, there was a bunch of articles saying that one of them was a biological male.
Yeah.
Now, if that were the case, that's terrible.
Yeah.
And that woman has been cheated, and it's just absolutely awful thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would feel
Yeah.
if I was a woman and I, like you said, trained my entire life to be the peak specimen to represent my country and try and become the gold medalist, the best of the best, and then get there just to find out that I'm going to box a man. And then when they get in there and the man throws a punch so hard that you've never been hit like that before in your life, and you're an Olympic boxer, you know?
So it's not
not like this was your first fight.
Match.
This ain't your first fight.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't imagine how defeating that would feel if that is the case.
Yeah, because knowing internally, do I keep going because I've made it to the Olympics and I'm going to try with everything that I have, but I might physically not walk out of here, or do I save my health and back out of the Olympics that you've trained your whole entire life for?
Yeah, like it's just
like to make that decision, that's got to count for something.
Yeah.
But I did read part of an article a few minutes ago that I'd found that said that the girl, I can't remember the exact term for it, but she was born with XY chromosomes. Okay. She has high testosterone, just like a male would.
Okay.
I think genitalia wise, she's female.
Okay.
Like that's what happened at birth.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know. Her whole life, she was raised as a girl.
Yeah.
Like pictures of her, she's clearly a girl.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's masculine features to her.
Sure.
So, I mean, I'm not the one that decides this.
Yeah.
But I feel like in her, like I've tried to really think about it in her shoes too. Is like you were born with this crazy genetic like defect kind of, and like you were raised a girl your whole life, and then you get to the point where you're going to be in the Olympics and they're like, oh well, biologically you're a man, so now you've got to get in the rink with a 6'4", 300. You know what I'm saying? Like in her shoes.
Or here's another way to look at it: that if this person whoever, I mean, and the moral of the story is that you absolutely cannot, if you want to be objective, but do not. A good rule of thumb is do not believe every single thing that you read on the internet, because that's how bad things just get started.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying it's not true,
right?
Because I don't know. I don't know these people.
Yeah.
But imagine that you are this girl that the entire half of the world is saying that's a freaking man. Like you should be ashamed of yourself. Yada yada. What if she actually is a girl and was raised as a girl and may have some type of something where her body structure is that of a male or whatever, but she's a girl? I don't know. But what if that is the case and she is legitimate? Now half of the world is like, just absolutely just trashing you.
Yeah.
And you're and you look at someone else who you want to be like them. You want to be a fully biological female. Like you were born a female, but you kind of don't look like it. You don't feel like it, whatever. But you made her quit, so now everyone's praising her
and hating you.
And hating you just for doing the sport that you love. I'm not saying...
And clearly she's trained her whole life for that as well.
I'm not saying that she should have been allowed to participate.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. Because if there is some type of scientific, something unfair advantage for her, I just don't know if I feel like that's... I do think
in the when it comes to the Olympics...
Yeah.
Like best in the entire world.
Yeah.
If you're defining who can compete where, I think it has to come down to genetically.
Yeah.
What are
like
this is
and we're not scientists, but there's got to be some tests.
And I
stuff,
know that would be hard because I mean I don't know what the right decision is, but I just know. Like, I've tried to look at it from both points of view.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Yeah. Now, if this is a flip-flop situation, like what's going on in the swimming...
Now, if it was a trans person.
Like a straight-up male who says that they are a woman, that's absolutely not...
That's not what we're talking about.
That's not okay, and that's not what we're talking about, and that should not be allowed.
Here's what I think... should happen is I think and I felt like this from the get-go about all of it. If you are trans or whatever, there needs to be their own category to compete. Like
sure.
You want
sure, if it'll keep them out of that, then yes.
Yeah, like you don't want them in women's sports, men's sports, or whatever. They need their own, so that way they can do whatever they want to do.
Sure, yeah.
But you're just not going
Yeah, I know. I'm with you. 100%.
Like a man's not. I don't. It's it's like complicated and it's not complicated.
It's not complicated. If you're a woman, play the woman's sport. If you're a man, play the man's sport. It's not complicated, but at the same time, just like the conversation we're having about the boxing lady, it is a little bit complicated.
Yeah, and it's not always
black and white
because, and then, you're told your whole life, like, God either created you a man or he created you a woman. Yeah. You're assigned your gender at birth, blah, blah, blah. And there are flukes with whatever that definition of whatever it is
or something.
And I can't imagine how they feel towards God.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah,
I know that's something people don't want to talk about, but like,
yeah,
they're preached to their whole life, like, you are what you are, God made you how you're supposed to be. But like those people that are genuinely born, their anatomy is female, but their genetics is male. Like,
it's a weird thing.
And then here's the other thing. So she was born with XY chromosomes. Her testosterone levels run just as high as a man's. Maybe physically has parts of a girl, and so say maybe, I mean, clearly she knows that genetically she's a male. And she would be okay with being a male. But in her country, it's illegal to, like, have a sex change.
Yeah.
And normally I'm clearly against.
And, like, I feel like that country is not going to say, hey, here's our champion.
Yeah.
If it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's just hard. And I mean, and clearly, I mean, we don't know all the facts. We don't know what's true, what's not true.
Yeah, all we've
just taken what we've seen from some articles and tried to like piece together, I feel like, ideas of what could have or could not have happened and like talk through it. But I mean, we don't know.
Yeah,
it could just be as simple as, yep, she's a man, and
yeah. If that's the case, that is not okay.
Yeah, like this ain't a Riley Gaines situation.
No.
And what was it, Leah Thomas or something like that?
Yeah.
I forgot their not names. What we're talking about.
You reminded me of them. That's absolutely awful, and I hate it for everyone who's in that position. And I think it's a joke. It's not something that it's not something that 10, 15 years ago you would have ever even imagined that we would be dealing with.
Yeah.
Like, you just would, if somebody would have told you that 10, 15 years ago, like, hey, there's going to be men playing in women's sports when you get, 15 years from now.
Yeah.
You'd be like, you're an idiot.
Oh, speaking of Riley Gaines.
Yeah.
So, who was the basketball player? I guess the women's basketball player that was stuck in.
Yeah. Brittany Griner.
Is she NBA?
WNBA.
WNBA. So, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
So there's this like big spiel on TikTok because Brittany, I guess, was at a basketball game or something. Maybe it was the Olympics. I don't know. And when they did the national anthem, she kneeled or sat down or something, and Riley Gaines kind of popped off, and I was here for it.
Yeah.
So basically she was like, if you don't like it, that's fine. Keep your mouth shut. But you should at least show respect to the country that could have just left you over there.
Yeah. That's
and rotting in jail.
That's a true story.
Like, the least you could do is just stand up and just be quiet.
Be respectful. Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah, I haven't seen that. I'm going to have to look that up.
Yeah, you should, because like as a country, we didn't have to go fight for her, get her.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Like, to be fair, you're an athlete. You're not an asset
100%.
to the country.
100%. I agree. Yeah, this, the Olympics as a whole, like, even all the stuff recently, and we haven't even talked about that, but I think it's probably to be a dead horse at this point. The opening ceremony and all that nonsense, like Last Supper, like, it's all just, it's crazy. And it's
all propaganda.
Yeah, and we live in a time where now, and this has never, ever happened before in the history of television, that when your child is in the room, you have to constantly watch the TV with them, because you cannot take your eyes off of it for 1 second, because you have no idea
well, they're going to flash it.
What is going to come up on that screen. You just have no idea, and it's whack. And I've been having conversations with people about things that I just never thought that I would be having a conversation about.
What do you mean?
Just about just different topics, like what we're talking about. Different things, like same-sex marriage, things like the athletes in different gender sports, like all the gender stuff. Like, just conversations that 10 years ago I never, ever imagined that I would be having with people that are, around me.
Yeah.
It's always been like that's on TV kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, like, it's real. It's real.
Yeah,
and it's around us. And it's only going to get more and more saturated. And so I just encourage everybody who has a kid, keep your eye on the TV.
Yeah.
Because your kid is soaking that up.
Yeah.
More so than they're soaking up what you do. Because we have to fight it at our house all the time, because it is so much easier sometimes to be like, just like today, for example, it would have been so much easier for us to open up 3 packs of gummies and cut on the little girl show or whatever it is, and cook dinner in peace. Mm-hmm. But instead of doing that, we put Joanna's little apron on her, sat her up on the counter. Was it aggravating? Yes. Was it distracting? Yes.
Did it stress me out?
Did it stress you out beyond comparison? Yes. But she spent time with you, her mother, and she got to cook and do a real life thing.
Yeah.
That wasn't a sensory explosion, that
Yeah.
it was a reality, and it was a memory that she'll have with you forever.
Yeah.
And we have to fight that all the time.
We do. And I know it's so hard, especially when you're not home.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like,
I bet. Which is a lot.
yeah. And it's more so just in the evenings, especially if I've been working. Like if I've been home with her all day, it's different. But if I've been working and haven't been with her, and then I pick her up and go home, and I'm trying to like get dinner, whatever, it's so easy to just be like, hey, what movie do you want to watch? Just like give me 20 minutes to get dinner ready. And and I know I'm guilty of that so much, but it's just like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Because it's like sometimes there isn't anything for her to do. Like I'm literally throwing you some chicken nuggets in the air fryer. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to
got
tell
you.
you.
I get it.
But
It's hard.
You have to be super intentional.
But the
and I'll be slacking sometimes.
Yeah. But the reality of it is that there is going to come a day, and whether it's 5 years from now, whether it's 10 years from now, or 15, you're going to go in your kitchen and you're going to be doing things that you normally do in your house, and your kid is going to be, one, either they're not going to be there.
Yeah.
They're going to be off doing something or whatever, or at work or whatever, or they're going to just not want to hang out with you anymore.
Yeah. Well, and I also think back, like, if they never see you do it and they never, like, intently, like, watch you or help you, whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna grow up and not know how to do anything for themselves.
Yeah. And I never...
Like, as annoying as it is, Joe wants to help me load and unload the dishwasher.
Yeah.
Does it take me an hour?
Yes.
Do I want to scream?
Is it the opposite of helpful? Yes.
But, like, she's learning life skills. Like, when she's 20 years old or however old and wants to move out, she needs to know how to load and unload a dishwasher.
Yeah.
She needs to know how to use an oven or a stove.
Yeah.
And
when she gets 25 or 35, whatever, my goal is for her to not ever be able to say about anything, well, no one ever showed me how to do that.
Yeah.
Or my dad was always, I just watched TV growing up.
yeah.
You know? Like, I want her to be able to say, well, me and my dad cooked together all the time.
Yeah.
He showed me how to cook.
Yeah.
Or my mom showed me how to keep the house clean.
Yeah.
Or how to load the dishwasher, or how to do a budget. You
Yeah.
know, like, I want her to grow up and be able to say things like that. And if I can reach that point and she does that, I will feel
It's our
accomplished.
job. And this is another thing that, you know, people say all the time that that there should be like a life 101 class in high school that teaches you how to do these basic things, and there's home ec and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's our job to make sure that
Yeah.
she's ready and capable to be an adult.
Absolutely.
It's not the school's job.
I agree.
And so I just feel like you have to be
So
to be intentional. And sometimes it just flat out sucks.
Dude, it sucks.
But I just have to tell myself, like, one day
Yeah.
she's going to know how to do this.
Yeah. Or one day she's not going to want to spend this time with me.
Yeah.
She's going to want to be in her room.
Well, it's
or
like,
whatever.
you know, you were talking about, you hope that she grows up and is like, oh, I remember cooking with my dad, or he taught me to do this and whatever. And it made me think about how, you know, when, like tonight, you put that apron on her that was my apron when I was 5.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I now have my grandma's apron and it was a set. We got them for Christmas. And I remember, like, she's wearing mine now, but I remember learning to make homemade mashed potatoes like I made tonight.
Yeah.
And
from your grandma.
Yeah, from her. So it's like, in what we're just talking about, like I did that.
Yeah, you feel it.
Like I remember that. Like I remember, like I know how to unload and load the dishwasher because my mom, one, made me do it, but she taught me, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like it's so crazy to me that there are young adults and teenagers that literally can't do any of it.
Because there's not an app for loading the dishwasher.
Yeah.
There's not an app for learning
and I know
and
technology is here and it's a part of our life and it's going to be. It's not going anywhere.
It's not. And
I do think there's a time and a place for it.
But
and those people that like, you know, when we were growing up, got into like the technology world and now they're super smart. They can fix computers. They work for Apple or whatever. There is a need for that, but you also have to be able to survive if you don't have internet.
Yeah. You also, I mean, those things are so good and they are tools that we can use, but they also, it's the parents' job. It's our job to regulate that stuff and monitor it extremely closely.
Like I was thinking about it, you know, a lot of times I'll get on TikTok and find a recipe.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh, let's try that. And then I'll like write everything down or put it in my phone that I need to go get. And it's like, in like a snap, that could just not even be a thing anymore.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a lot of people in my generation that would be like, well,
what do we do now?
Where am I going to figure out what to cook?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, there was these things called cookbooks.
Yeah.
There's
crazy?
Probably 40 of them in your garage.
Yeah, in a tote somewhere. That's funny.
But I feel like nobody even thinks about a physical cookbook anymore. It's like, oh, let me find something to cook for dinner tonight. Scroll.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's wild.
I'm with you. Well, guys, that is about it for episode number 27. I think we're going to wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
I hope you guys are liking our new music.
If you don't, let us know.
If you don't, let us know. We'll
if
try
you think
and
it's
find
annoying,
else.
it's fine. We'll change it because I still don't know.
We'll change it. She said she still doesn't know. But anyway, you guys can feel free to reach out to us if you have anything, comments, questions, if you dislike or like something we said, or if you have
if you know more than we do on a subject, enlighten us, please.
We want to learn too. We are really working hard on making some future episode decisions with people, guests, and things of that nature. So bear with us on that, and that will be coming soon. And if you want to reach out to us, you can do that through Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, at Totally Worth It Podcast. Or you can email us at totallyworthitpod@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. But outside of that, I hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful week, and we will see you next week in episode number 28.